Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back in. We are doing a farm. It's farm build day. It's farm build day on Calm Lands. A little bit of a different map, and I thought we would do something a little bit different. We picked up a 2016 Ram 1500. This is actually really close to my truck. Let's go and get this fired up. I want to do a build today on something that maybe we haven't really done before, per se. Now, this map is somewhat reminiscent of, I want to say, No Man's Land. We'll go to the base farm and we're going to sell everything off. We may have to add some money and we'll see. We'll see how this goes. We're not going to use the base farm. It's a viable option, I suppose. You're fairly close to the shop and everything up here, at least through the creek, and up we go. This is the only field that's currently created, so much like No Man's Land, you're going to have to create your own fields, of course. But today we're going to build a farm. And you know what? I'm thinking maybe a horse ranch today. I just have a hankering to build a horse ranch. And just a quick note, if you're going to start on this map, use Farm Manager, because new farmer mode, you get all the same equipment no matter what. It's exactly the same. Don't ask me why, but you do Farm Manager, you just don't get the land. And to buy the land, it's cheap. You get way more money. So go Farm Manager if you're going to start this map. All right, so first things first, let's make some money. Let's sell off this stuff. Funny thing is, you've got seed and stuff here too. Let's just get rid of all of this. We don't want this. Get rid of it. Get rid of this. We're going to need the money. Not really a fan of the tractors they chose to start with, the Landini and McCormick. Anyways. All right. Now we're starting from scratch. We've got nothing. No land, no buildings, no equipment. And we're not going to focus on equipment during this build, guys. So you want to follow along? No equipment. We're just trying to build. See what happens. So our next thing is going to be where to build on this map. Now, I've got a question for you guys. I'll drop a poll down in the description for this. Do you guys like this style of map where you have to choose kind of everything? You don't get fields built for you, like the No Man's Land style. Do you guys like this type of map where you basically get an open slate and figure out what you have to do? So make sure you guys go vote down in the description on that. So I was considering of maybe putting some kind of a farm down on the waterfront down here. I think it might look okay, but my thing is I wanted to have the house up on that cliff side, but it's all trees up there. There's not any room to put anything. Now down here, this is definitely a feasible spot. You can put a nice farm down here. It's all nice and flat, which is definitely something you're going to want to look for. But I wanted to be on that cliffside, and I don't think it's going to happen. There's just no room to put any kind of a farm on that cliffside overlooking like the little pond that flows out into the river there. So I think I've got a better idea. My plan is going to be to build up here in the highlands a little bit. Now there is some other field area up here. There is a little bit of an open space right at the top of this little spot right here. I might save that for kind of the residence side. And I think right where we are right now, this little flat spot right here that overlooks the whole valley, I think this is where my farm is going to go. And I'll climb up on top and I'll show you the top. There's some buildings up there we're going to sell off. It's a bit of a climb to get up here, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to put my whole farm up here because of that. But I think like up here, we can put a nice house up in the corner here. We'll get rid of these sheds. And you know what? This will be kind of our view from the house up on top here. We may even do some terraforming and get this built up a little bit higher, since we're only going to be putting a residence up here and maybe a shop. Like, look at this. Get up nice and high. Fairly good little spot up here, nice little perch, and then down below is our farm. All right, let's get to building, guys. We've gone and bought all of the land that's kind of up in this corner for now. Let's get rid of this stuff. Nice thing is we can get rid of these sheds at least, and they're not permanently stuck there. Awesome. Love it. All right, so house is going to go up here. Let's plan this out before we go building. I'll give you an idea what I'm thinking here. Now, which side do we want to put? We want maybe farm side this side, ranch side over here. So we'll have our silo, maybe some buildings, and then put our horse ranch on this side over here. Maybe some chickens as well. Horses and chickens? Yeah, let's go with that. So we'll put silo up on... Oh, we need a flat spot for that. So you got to really make sure that that's a thing. Make sure your silo's got a fairly flat spot, easy to access, of course, for your trucks. Maybe down over here. Let's see what we can do. Let's start off. We're going to build this up at the top. I really want to get the house looking pretty first. You know, that's where we're going to live there, right? So let's start with that. Let's build this thing on up. Let's get her built on up a little bit nicer than she is. Let's raise some terrain up here. We're going to get this all built up with some humpers. Did I really just say that? That's not what I meant. You guys know what I meant. We'll flatten this out. There we go. That's a little bit better. A little higher in height. Okay, so we've flattened everything out. We've got a Harry Armstrong Jr. house here. A shouse? Let's see if we can get this in now. I'm having the flattening error problem come up, as you guys can see. There we go. We can find it right in there. It's a bit of a pain for building this size, of course. You got to find the right spot to stick it. Now as well, I don't want the red. I'm thinking maybe the gray. We don't want to stand out too much. So let's go with like that, maybe. Let's go with the gray. Yeah. And quickly, for those who have not seen this house shop before, another amazing thing by Farm Strong, of course, PC only, but so many interactable things in here, from lights and everything else, TVs. Upstairs, you got kids' bedrooms. Downstairs, you've got the master. You've got some laundries. Everything's interactable. You can go into everything here. Pretty cool farmhouse. No time to look at it all today, but just so we have an idea, let's go take a look outside. This is going to be our view, which we got to clean this up a little bit, but not too bad. Not too bad. So we at least have an idea where the house is going to sit. I would have rather pushed it further, but it is what it is, guys. So from here, we need to build this down and actually make it so we can get up here properly. Is going to be the next little bit of a problem for us. And I don't really like the way this is terrain's working out for us here. That looks kind of funky. We'll see. We'll see how this works out. There we go. See if I can kind of just smooth this all out with that ramp tool. All right, so it's a little bit smoother. I think we'll actually wrap this over this way at some point. Leave this kind of open, but I'm not going to worry about that now. I want to get the farm kind of slapped down in place. Get that looking pretty. Let's start over here, guys. So first things first, I want to place down a silo just so that we have that in place and can plan our roads accordingly. Guys, I think we'll put it down like over in this section here. We'll have the roads kind of loop racking around. Now, I'm not sure what you guys use. I don't have a lot of silos yet that are like North American styled. So I'm going to go with something a little bit different here. I do like these little silos. I just wish they were a little bit bigger, like a dual silo complex maybe would look a little bit better personally, I would think. But that's okay. We'll use an extension along with it. So we'll slap this in. Let's make this so it's in the middle. So it'll be like that. Road's going to come in this way. That's my plan for now. Let's see. We'll slap this in like right about there. You know what? Nice thing about these as well, they're super cheap. The silo extension. Once again, how big are these by comparison? I don't want to go that big. Maybe like that size there. And there's no door on this side, so we'll put the extension kind of like right beside it. There. So at least it's kind of like somewhat of a different looking silo system. In fact, you know what? We'll probably do another one of these and put it back behind it. So it looks kind of like it belongs there at least a little bit. There you go. A bit of an angle. That'll be fine. So the road's going to come in this way. And this silo is going to be where we dump all our product. And the funny thing is this thing actually holds way more than you think it would. Okay, so I want to do something right behind this as well. We'll put like the older shed. I'm thinking like this brown one. I wanted to go red. I go red with everything. What do you guys do? Do you guys do red colors for all your sheds typically? I find I do that way too much. So I'm going to go to a brown, like a tan color here. Oh, and I just realized something. This actually goes really good with this building. If I can get them to kind of match up. They can be kind of like, this was the old stuff, the old part. How's it going to look? There you go. How does it look on the other side? It's actually not bad. Like this is, that's actually kind of cool looking. So you got the old shed on one side, the new one on the other, entrance over on this side. Yeah, that looks cool. That's different. We do need some kind of a seed area as well. So this one actually was kind of cool. This hopefully coming to all platforms soon, but it's just a massive storage yard. I think that should work. Put that right there. Now, one thing I've been adding with this, and it's not necessary, it's going to be actually a double. Let's see if I can find it in here. There we go. The farm supplies silo as well. So it doesn't need it. This is actually a second buy point as well, but I think it just looks really cool to be matching these together. I find that these two go together really well together. So we'll slap that right in there. And now we're going to have that as kind of a combined place. We'll be able to buy stuff. I know it's kind of redundant, but I'm going for looks right now and how this is all going to look together. Now, the last thing, I want to make this still look a little bit rustic, and I do like this old building here, but we're going to match it with this old root crop storage building. And I think, you know what, we could say that this was maybe an old potato farm or something like that. And these are just the old buildings that were here beforehand. And then we'll move on to the ranch afterwards and make the ranch look a little bit newer, a little bit. We'll see. I'm thinking if we put this like, let's back this up a little bit so it'll be like right there. All right, so let's talk animals. Like I said, we'll do horses and chickens just because it's kind of different, to be honest. We'll start off with a very simple chicken coop over here. In fact, we may actually stick this right in beside because that'll be something that we go around when we're over in this neck of the woods. I'm thinking we'll keep it close. It kind of goes alongside with this too as well. This old building. You know what? If we put it right here, we can kind of stick it right in here. We'll put a fence around it. You can see it's there now. It kind of did this whole kind of fitting thing. We'll put some fences around that later on. Simple. It's chickens, right? We got what, 30 chickens we can put in there? But the horses is where we really want to focus some time on. So let's see here. We've got, once again, the Elk Mountain Farm pack here. This is the horse stable. It's really looking nice. I mean, look at this thing. The bigger problem, of course, is trying to find a flat piece of land to get this stuff on. Now we'll have to do a lot of terrain deforming here at some point in time. That's all right. Let's actually see what we can do right now. Flatten this out. Strengthen and see here. Flattened right in there, it looks like. Let's bring the terrain up all the way around. Another part of this package we have. Go to our animals, back to horses. There's a free pasture as well, which is going to open this up a little bit more. And you know what? I do want to see horses kind of just wandering around out in the open. And kind of put it like right there. See, it's a little bit, there'll be a roadway. I can work with this. That's fine. We could double this up. Actually, you know what? We'll do that. Let's double it up. We'll make it bigger. We can always make this bit bigger, right? So we can get more horses into it. You just want to make sure that you overlap. So go like that. Yeah, we'll go all the way down. That's fine. Okay, so we've got enough for three pastures there. In fact, we could do as well, do the other way, just so it makes it like worthwhile. You know what? They're not going to see it anyways. It's fine. Let's fence these guys in. In my horse pastures, I typically always go with a white. I'm going to see if I can match. Do we have anything that's close to this? There's nothing quite like these logs. Unfortunately, in the pack, we need a mod for that. The dark ones are always, these always feel like they're broken to me. Like I always look at this, I'm like, yeah, that looks like it's broken. I don't want that. And same with these. They all feel kind of like they're broken, but you know what? That's as close as we can get, I bet. So let's try with these. We'll make a fence pasture around this. We'll go up and around. Let's see. Once again, it doesn't matter as long as you're kind of covering the whole thing. It's not going to matter. No one's going to be able to tell the difference. In fact, you can even put buildings in here and allow the horses look like they have interactions with the buildings. In fact, I think that's something we're probably going to do. Yeah, the old red barn. That should be okay, I think. Kind of like that. And then back into decorations to our fences. And let's finish these fences off now. Okay, so we still need like a fairly big hay shop over here, or hay shed, I should say. First of all, I do want this building up over here as well. Kind of part of it. It's just a storage building. I just really been dying to use this for something. And of course, I mean, we can change the colors of this. We can go to that gray maybe, because it's kind of a new building. It'll kind of match our house then, right? So this is going to be kind of up on the hillside as you go up this way to our house. We'll slap this kind of like right over. We need to leave space so we can do some terraforming. That's all right. And then we need a big shed for hay. We need hay. Now going through the sheds that are big enough for this. I mean, you've got like a pole shed, right? The pole hay shed. You've got this one here is interesting, but I can't get it to flatten properly. That large shelter. They're more for parking vehicles. The shed this one's too low. You do have the Elk Mountain one as well. They're too small for what I'm looking for. Personally, yeah, there's not a lot of options as far as larger buildings go. This one's not too bad, this open one. But yeah, like I said, there's just not a lot of big options here for these hay sheds. I think I'm going to go simple. We'll stick with the easy shed. Not really. It's more of a shelter than a hay shed, but we'll use this one for our hay shed. And it's going to be off to the side, kind of up on this hillside right here. Like I said, a lot more flattening is going to have to happen. I'm trying to get it at the same height as this barn so that we can build a roadway fairly easily between the two. Slap that in. That looks pretty close to the right spot. All right, guys. So that's the general idea. I've got something else still planned, but I'm going to wait for a bit. I'm going to build some roads. Let's go. General layout is kind of done. I'm okay with this. Not my favorite layout I've ever done, but it's not bad. Left side is kind of the old style, of course. We have this loop around. You guys saw a couple silos being built there. Looks good. And then the right side, we're going to have kind of tiered. We're going to tier this down. So you've got first level, second level, and then the third level down below underneath is going to be the open pasture. It's a little bit different. I don't mind. I haven't done the tiers before. Not bad. It's kind of cool. So let me just paint these in quickly so we can kind of emphasize that they're tiered, a little bit of cliffside here. And we got to do this for all these tiers at least, just so they're kind of emphasized a little bit that it's kind of a cliff, right? And we'll need some decorations, some trees, of course, throughout all this as well. Yeah, I mean, we have only spent about a little over $1 million on this so far. So not crazy amount of money spent building this thing, considering I was expecting to build a little bit more on this, guys. To be honest with you, we'll have to wait and see what our final tally is. You guys might already know. Maybe we put in the title. I don't know yet. Let me keep on working away on this. Got a little bit more to build still here, but it's coming together. Boy, that was a lot of work, actually. Things are done for the most part. We still have some things I want to update and change, but let me give you the tour. We spent all about $1 million. $1 million farm. Let's go take a look. The shelves really didn't change too much. You know what? I did some work on the driveway. It still needs some smoothing out in some spots. In fact, there's a lot of spots that I think need some smoothing out, but generally speaking, it looks pretty darn good. One thing I'm kind of amazed by, guys, is everywhere in the backyard, you cannot see any parts of the farm down below. The farm is all underneath of us here. You can see there's a building there, but you can't see the silo system really. You can't see anything from up here. There's enough trees to cover it all. It's kind of cool. So the house is all kind of hidden up on the hillside there. It's hidden away, and you can see the roadway that goes up into it. And we've even got a cattle guard that kind of is blocking that off, so no livestock can kind of get out that way as well. But you know what? Let me go down to the main farm entryway and I'll show you what that looks like. You can see that looks pretty close. There's a little bit of a divot there we need to fix, but that's okay. So here you have the entryway to the farm. Now, to be perfectly honest, I am not really happy with the overall appearance on the entryway. It is what it is. We've used what we can. I mean, this gets overused, but it is the only one that looks really good, to be honest with you, this gateway. I love this. And you don't get the sense there's a good sized farm here when you come up to this. I wish I could have done better than this, but anyways, it is what it is. Off to the left, of course, we have, well, you can see the horses out in the stable right there. Horses are ready to go. As we keep on going up, the second stable on the second level shows up into view. And then you get up to the top here, and that's where everything kind of spreads apart. And I'll show you more of this as we kind of get up here. So looking to the left, we have the newer side of this whole farm with all our horse stables. You can see quite a few horses out there now in the open pasture, and all the new buildings off to the left, some storage for hay and some vehicles. And then off to the right is kind of the older side of the farm. In fact, I've made this kind of my theme, to be honest, guys, with this farm. We've got, well, the chicken coop right here, along with, and you know, Gertie's old trailers right here as well. We've got some more older room for some storage right there. Of course, we talked about attaching that building, so it kind of looks like it's attached. Our silo system right there, that'll work just the way we need it to. And as we kind of wrap around here, you've seen all this. You can see we haven't added a lot of decor to these stuff. We've got the seed building right there with fertilizer. But over here is something you guys haven't seen. And this is kind of like the original farmhouses. I think they're farmhands' houses now. So I put in just something very quickly here. I think we'll leave this as kind of like the farmhand house. We've got some houses down here. We need to make some walkways. We'll have to do that at some point. And then this here kind of is the old original farmhouse on this farm. And you know what? No farm is complete without a farm pond, right? You got to have a pond someplace on your farm. So we built a pond down here. You got a dock that kind of goes off into the pond. We needed a pond. Every farm's got a pond to jump into, an old swimming hole, right? And now let's just kind of quickly cut across. You guys have seen the silo system, like I said, there for our feed and our seed. As we cut across, we have the beet or potato storage there that's still sitting there. Nothing special with that. And then, of course, the newer area. This one's interesting. I'm liking the idea of layering more farms. It's something I don't do very often, is these layers. So we have the upper layer right here with some farm buildings. Kind of drops down one level to the first of our horse stables. And then this one here, you can see how this roadway kind of drops down. I kind of wanted to make it a little bit more dramatic on this side, and I think that works. You got a fairly dramatic drop down this hill that kind of comes down to this big horse pasture down below, the open pasture down here that's technically 3 pastures. So that's kind of the idea behind this. It's kind of stacked on this side with new equipment. And then this one here, this kind of worked with the land on older style farm on the right. That's kind of what we've gone with. We've got cattle guards all throughout to keep the animals in. And there's a new barbed wire fence mod out as well. It puts barbed wire fences into your decor system for fencing. And I really do like these because everywhere I work, at least everywhere I've been, we've had these type of fences, these barbed wire fences. And it wasn't base game, so I was kind of surprised. I do like these a lot. So there you have it, folks. That is our farm build. $1 million farm build. You know what? $1.5 million, technically, if you consider the land as well. What do you guys think of this? Is this an interesting farm build? Would you do something like this? You know what? Better off. What's one thing you would change about the way I've built this farm? Put that down in the comments. Let me know what's the one thing you would change about how I built this farm. Be curious to see what you guys think of this. Hopefully this gives you some ideas on some of your builds. That's really what I'm doing this for. You know what? Something a little bit different. And I really do enjoy building these things. So let me know what you guys think down below. And other than that, make sure you vote in the description. If you haven't subscribed, slap the like. You guys know what to do there. Slap that big red button down there if you haven't subscribed. Anyways, guys, have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time. This is Klutch. Over and out.